Thank you, sir. In other words, I got some good intention. I want to do, but you see, there is something within me. There is something about me that I can't overcome when I would do good. Evil is always present, always around me, always smothering me. And the only way I can get out of it, God got to, in his own miraculous power, got to snatch me. Yes, sir. He's suggesting that if we're going to get out, God is going to have to snatch us out. Why? Because we're unable to do it in and of ourselves. It reminds me of a closer analogy. For you see, I remember when I was young and I was out in the swimming pool and I was in the lower part. I was tall, long legs, and so I was in the shallow part of the water and dancing around and prancing around and clowning around and pretending as if I was drowning and just going down and coming up and trying to make the lifeguard jump off the board and come in after me, and he just sat there calm and didn't even move. And so I just kept on jumping up and around and wasn't looking at where I was going, and before I know it, I was in the deep part. Couldn't swim. Clowning around in the deep part. And when I got out into the deep part, I became desperate because I couldn't feel the bottom. My head went on down and I called myself going to spring back up, and it wasn't anything to spring on. I didn't feel the bottom, and I started slinging my hand, and he just let me sling them for a while. And after he allowed me to sling them for a while, in a spirit of desperation, he jumps in and comes and snatch me out. All right. Oh, I come this morning to let you know that sometimes we can get caught in sin. Just floundering around in it. Acting like we got it under control. And playing with it. And finally, it catches hold on us. And we think we can just put it down when we get ready. But I've come this morning to let you know, the only way to get rid of it, God has to snatch it. Some of the things that we're wrestling with now, some of the things that got us all wrapped and tied up, we've been trying to get rid of them ourselves. I've come this morning to say to you that we've got to invite God in on the situation. Ask God to do what only he can do. But you see, it's God who can snatch it from you, and you don't know when it's gone. And sometimes you might wake up in the morning, it is gone. You don't know when it left, what time of night it left. It may be during the day, during your work schedule. God has the power to snatch it from you. And I'm glad this morning that God is in the sin snatching business. And we can depend on him to deliver us. So I've come this morning to let you know that here at Greater Mount Sinai, we believe that God will save you and that he will snatch whatever is wrong with us. He can snatch it out of us. And it is in this light that we get a glimpse. And it's in this light that we can get a glimpse of once saved, always saved. Took me a long time to believe that. Amen. Took me a long time. But studying, getting ready for this allowed me to see that once you are saved, once God snatch it out of you, once saved, always saved.
Yes, sir.
Now, what do you mean, brother preacher? Well, now, what I mean here is that, you see, once you are saved because you make the decision. You make the decision. In other words, we came to God on our own belief because we decided this was the time. And when we gave ourselves to him, God knew that we were still incomplete. And there were some things that needed to be snatched out of us. And God went to work on that. But our coming to him and our coming to him was our decision.
Yes, sir.
Nobody made us come. We came on our own. And when we came, it was because of a choice that we made. God created us in a way so that whatever we do is due to our own choices.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Amen, lights. It's due to our own choices. Paul says evil is always present, but the verdict is still yours.
Yes, sir.
Amen, lights. In other words, evil is always around us. Evil is always tempting us. But you see, the verdict, the thing that the decision is ours to make. Sin is designed to tempt us, but not to make us. God fixed us where we don't have to be made, but we are tempted. And we have to make the decision. So the decision is ours. And now, by the same token, we want God to take the responsibility for our decisions and for our actions. But I've come this morning to let you know God will not take the responsibility for our decisions. He will not take the responsibility for our actions. For you see, if it is possible for you to be saved and then, we said once saved, always saved. If it is possible for you to be saved and become lost again, it is not because God turned you loose. But you see, in order to be saved, you have to make the decision. And in order to be lost or to turn from God, you have to make the decision. So the decision is always ours. To either stay or to turn our back on him. And as long as we are with him, he is with us and he holds us and he allows us to be strong, grow strong and next to him. So I've come this morning to say to you that salvation is something that is a gift from God, but we have to make the decision. When we make that decision, I want you to know that God is there. Whatever needs snatching out, he's there to snatch it out. Amen? Amen? Amen. Amen. Amen.